Assalamu alaikum, dear audience. Welcome to another session of EN-534 Environmental Law and Policy Development by Tufail Zubedi. In our previous classes, we discussed some sections of the Sindh Environmental Protection Act 2014. In today's class, we will discuss sections related to the establishment and powers and functions of Sindh Environmental Protection Agency. Section 5 of the SEPA Act 2014 is related to the establishment of the Sindh Environmental Protection Agency. Subsection 1. The Government of Sindh shall establish the Sindh Environmental Protection Agency to perform the functions defined in the Act and its rules and regulations it makes. Sindh Environmental Protection Act enlists 24 tasks for itself to perform. The participants need to make a self-evaluation of how effectively the Sindh Environmental Protection Agency does its functions. This agency, meaning Sindh Environmental Protection Agency, is headed by Director General through appointment. Presently, Mr. Naeem Mughal is the Director General of SEPA, now holds the record of longest serving DG of any of the EPA. Previously, this record was held by Mr. Asif Shuja of Pakistan Environmental Protection Agency. The agency shall have administrative, technical and legal staff appointed. The Director General shall exercise and perform the powers and functions of the agency. Subsection 5 of Section 5, the Director General may delegate any of these powers and functions to the appointed staff. Government shall establish advisory committees for various sectors with eminent representatives of the relevant sector, educational institutes, research institutes, and non-governmental organizations to assist the agency in the discharge of its functions. Any questions so far? Let's note down our questions so that we can have it after we are through with this presentation. Section 6 of the Sindh Environmental Protection Act 2014 deals with functions of the agency. The agency shall administer and implement the provisions of this Act, rules and regulations. The agency shall prepare environmental policies for the approval of the environment. It shall do so in coordination with the appropriate government agencies or local council and in consultation with the concerned advisory committee where established. The agency shall take measures for the implementation of the environmental policies as approved in previous point. The agency shall prepare and publish an annual Sindh environmental report on the state of the environment. To my present knowledge, SEPA has not done so since 2014. The agency shall establish the Sindh environmental quality standards. It may also revise SEQS as needed. All such activities shall be done through the process of seeking public opinion. The agency shall enforce the Sindh environmental quality standards. The agency shall establish different standards for discharge of emissions from different sources or for different areas and conditions. When we will discuss the SEQS, we will see that it has done so for the discharge of wastewater for receiving bodies such as into sea, inland waters and on land. Where these standards are less stringent than the Sindh environmental quality standards, prior approval of the council shall be obtained. The agency shall establish systems and procedures to prevent and control pollution and to eliminate the cost of cleaning up pollution and rehabilitating the environment in various sectors. The systems and procedures will be for surveys, surveillance, monitoring, measurement, examination, investigation, research, inspection, and audit. So, a lot of work for the agency to do. The agency shall promote research and development of science and technology for prevention of pollution, protection of the environment, and sustainable development. The agency shall issue licenses, approvals for the consignment, handling, transport, treatment, disposal of, storage, handling, or otherwise dealing with hazardous substances. The agency shall certify laboratories for conducting tests and analysis, and research institutes as environmental research institutes for conducting research and investigation. The agency shall identify the needs for and initiate legislation in various sectors of the environment. The agency shall provide assistance to relevant government agencies in the management of environmental accidents and natural and environmental disasters. The agency shall render advice and assistance in environmental matters. Restrictions on disclosure of information applies. The agency shall assist to implement schemes for the proper disposal of wastes. It shall provide this assistance to government agencies, local councils, local authorities, and other persons. The agency shall provide information and guidance to the public on environmental matters. The agency shall recommend the curriculum and syllabus of educational institutes. The agency shall promote public education and awareness of environmental issues through mass media, including seminars and workshops. The agency shall disseminate information regarding policies, plans, and decisions of the government, the council, and the agency itself relating to the environment. The agency shall specify safeguards for the prevention of accidents and disasters that may likely cause pollution. It shall prepare contingency plans for control of such accidents and disasters and coordinate implementation of such plans. The agency shall review and approve mitigation plans related to cleanup operations ordered under this Act. For non-governmental organizations, community organizations, and village organizations, the agency shall encourage its formation and working to prevent and control. to prevent and control pollution and promote sustainable development. The agency shall take all necessary measures for the protection, conservation, rehabilitation, and improvement of the environment, prevention and control of pollution, and promotion of sustainability. And finally, the agency shall perform any function that the Council may assign to it. In subsection 2 of the section 6 functions of the agency may undertake inquiries or investigations into environmental issues. It may do so on its own or on complaint from any person or organization. The agency may request any person to furnish any information or data relevant to its functions. The agency may request for foreign assistance in support of the purposes of this Act and enter into agreements with foreign organizations for the exchange of information and participate in international seminars. We are still discussing the functions of the agency. So, the agency may recommend the adaptation of financial programs, schemes, or measures for achieving environmental objectives and goals for the purpose of this Act, which includes the following. So, the financial programs incorporates both carrot and stick approach. The agency may assist and maintain laboratories to help in the performance of its functions. It may do so to conduct research and environment. It may also provide or arrange necessary assistance for the establishment of similar laboratories in the private sector, thus leading to public-private partnership. The agency may arrange financial assistance to facilitate and discharge of its functions, and finally, the agency may acquire assistance of concerned authorities of district administration and other relevant agencies, departments, and police assistance for enforcement of this Act. Moving on to Section 7